Hello, welcome to this video. So in today's video, just going to look at how to create a documentation site using Nextra. So most of you have been requesting me on how to build this, and let me show you the demo of what we're just going to build. So this is a simple documentation site where we looked at how to set it up and customize it to look like this. You're going to learn how to customize, adding like these logos, adding this, adding your links that you want to link, like YouTube channel and any other things. You're going to see how to add. You're going to see how to add this custom components that are using Tailwind. We can use Tailwind in this and we create nice custom components like this one. We are going to look at how to use different built-in components like the steps, then these code snippets, images, videos, then these steps, tabs, cards, mermaid diagrams, and so many things like nested. I'm just going to look at these nested things. You can nest pages, how to customize pages with your own titles, and how to make them look like this. Okay, this is what you're going to cover in the next 2 hours. Thank you so much. Let's dive in. Hello, welcome to this video. So in today's video, you're just going to look at how to create a documentation site using Nextra. So most people have requested this video via my YouTube channel in the comment section and others in the WhatsApp group. They have requested how to create this beautiful documentation, how I created this, my documentation, specifically this hub documentation. We have this docs they created after using Notion for a long time. I decided to create this documentation where I can always put content for my videos so that it can be helpful to you, so that you have a reference every after video. So in today's video, I'm just going to show you how to create this, and it is not complicated the way you think. Really, it is really easy, and I'm just going to show you how to do it. And I'm just going to try to make sure we do it in a shortest possible time, maybe in less than 1 hour, so that it is very easy for you to set up. So I'm just going to simply jump in, and we're going to use a framework called Nextra, and you can just go type in nextra.site here, and you will see that it is making MDX website using next.js, and you can click on get started. It will take you to this. Okay, so to quickly get started, they have two themes. One is for the blog, creating blogs using MDX. One is for documentation, and we are definitely here for documentation. So I will click in the documentation, and they have so many ways to get started with it. They have three to be specific. One is to click and deploy on Vercel. Two is to fork from the template, and the third one is to install a step by step. Now, to my experience, it is good to use one of the first two here. Now, I have already tried to do this step by step, but I wasn't really very well successful. You can try to do it, but I'm just going to go with the template. Okay, so just go to this template. I will open it. I'm just go ahead and clone this. So just go ahead and clone this, and let me go to my folder like this one. Right click. I'm just going to open this in an VS Code, just like this. And I'm just going to say git clone. And you can just clone this, and I'm just going to give it like next.js docs. So you can just give it any folder you want. I'm just going to give it next.js docs, and you can see this is cloning this. and we can cd into next.js docs. Just going to open this in VS Code. Okay, so the first thing to do is to install dependencies, and if you notice here they're using pnpm, I'm just going to go ahead and run pnpm install. Okay, so if you don't have pnpm, you can just go ahead and get started with it. Go to my YouTube channel and you can search for pnpm, just like this. I have a 4-minute video that you can actually go through and watch this if you haven't used pnpm before. Okay, this will just help you to run up to speed. Let's continue. So after we have this, you can see it has installed all the dependencies, including TypeScript. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and clear this. I'm just going to run pnpm dev, just like this. And this is going to start it in localhost 3000. I will just come back here and just run localhost 3000. Okay, so you can see, and this is the initial starting point, and that's not bad because you can see it has already some MDX here, some things we can write. It has dark mode already, comes with dark mode support. It comes with the search functionality working. So if I search for instance, documentation, you can see all these links here. Do you see them here? This one. If I click on this, you can see they take me to this hash documentation. So the search comes when it is working, dark mode working. I'm just going to go back to light mode. So this is already a good start. Let's go ahead and look at the folder structure for now. First of all, what you should note is that a Nextra uses next.js pages router, and they are so clear with this. If you go to their documentation before even going inside here, if you click on Nextra, click on Get Started, and you scroll down here, you see here they have Nextra FAQs. And in the FAQs, the first one is, can I use Nextra with Next.js app router? And the answer is no. Nextra only works with the pages router or the pages directory at the moment. Support for the app router has not been implemented yet, but you can use the app and the pages at the same time. Just put your docs inside the pages. Okay, and your other routes in the app. So they just like not yet to do with this, you can just always put your stuff here. Okay, all the documentation sites, the things can go here. Okay, so now let's get started, like customizing this. So this is far away from what I have here. Okay, it is far away from what I have here. So for instance, let's first see how do you customize the nav bar. So if you want to customize this nav bar here, let's start with where do you find this logo. For instance, have this the sub by default. In this, let me just bring this one here. You can see we have this my project. So the first thing to do if you want to customize this my project, plus these two links here, this the one for GitHub and the one for the Discord, these two links, if you want to customize them, you just go to this here. There is this one, theme.config.tsx. This file here is the one having all these settings. So the first one, I can just go here. You can see the logo here very nicely. I can just go and change this to for instance, next.js docs. So you can just like put any title you want here. Now, the fact that this is a component, you can design it, style it the way you want. Okay, you can just pass a style tag here. Okay, you can just go ahead and say, for instance, color to be red. Okay, this should just like work normally, just like this. So you can see you have this here. So this is how you can change this. I'm just going to leave it to black, but I'm just showing you that you can just actually pass in any styles you want. Okay, in the future, I'm just going to show you how to customize also using Tailwind. But for now, we just like change this logo. Two, you see we have there the project link. Okay, and then we have the chat link. We have this here. So if you want to see these settings in this, you can just copy one of these ones. I can go back to the Nextra documentation and I can just, I think, search for this. And you can see here. Okay. And I think if I just go here, use config, I can just click theme configurations. Okay, so you can see theme configuration here. So you can search either for theme configuration and it will take you to this, and you can see theme.config.jsx, and you can pass in your logo. And there are some other things you can just pass in the docs repository. You can specify like this. There's SEO and so many other things that you can actually pass in. The one that I'm just going to actually pass in is that you say you can actually specify if you want to have like an icon. You can also pass in your logo something like this. Okay, so you can easily get the icons either from box icons here. Let's just look for home, for instance. I don't know, you can just like look for a nice icon. Let's first remove this. Let's just say you want any nice icon. I guess you can just like let's first bring this one the way they have it in the documentation. So I'm just going to copy this on the logo so you can see you passing. You can just go ahead here where we have the logo. You can just go ahead and pass in a component. You can see, and then here where we have this SVG, here we have next.js. So you say next.js docs. Okay, so you see, you can pass in even the styles. That's what I just told you. You can pass in the styles. You can also put the icon. So let's add another icon. Maybe this one for Java. I don't know. Like we can pass in a nice icon like this one. They just go ahead and just copy the SVG. And then while we have this SVG, okay, let me just go ahead and add this one. Take this, hoping that we don't have things. So this fill style, we can remove this style, I guess, like this, or we can just um, make it double since this is React. Okay, you can just like make it. Oh, what have I done? You can just go ahead and just remove this field thing, or even the style tag, like this. Is it? Where does it come from? Did it stop here? I think it stops here. Okay, it stops here. We could just hold this one here, style. So if we just make it like this, and then you put fill, then this. Mm, okay, I'm just going to remove this style thing, the style property, and think this one should still work. So now I just go here and do like this. And now you can see we have these next.js docs. So you can customize this the way you want. Okay. And so you have seen you can customize this. In fact, you can even put an image here. So for instance, if we just went and got a next.js image, next.js logo, and then you go to images, then you go to this one, and then you just go here and you just said copy image address, and then you just come here. So you can also just go ahead and remove all this, I believe, and then you say img just like this, and we can just go ahead and give this style. Okay, and then you say, for instance, width of 20 pixels. Let's just say this 20 pixels, and let's go ahead and see this. Refresh, and this is too small. Can I just say 60 pixels? Maybe can we just make it 80 pixels? Okay, so now you can see this really nice. Okay, so you can just customize our logo and you put any element you want. That is done. Now we have this one chart. Now if you continue looking at the theme configuration, there is a project link, shows a button that links to your project's homepage on the Nav Bar. By default, it links to Nextra this. So they just tell you here, you can just like give to whatever you want here. Okay, you can also put the icon. Okay, on the project, the one I just want to customize right now is this chat link. So there shows a button that links to your project's forum or other social media on the navigation. So if you want any other social media, for instance, your YouTube channel, so I'm just going to come here and remove this, and I'm just going to copy this one. Go ahead and put it. Okay, so similarly, the way we did to this one, you can just specify this. Okay, you can specify this, and you also can go ahead and specify the icon. So you can copy this v1, for instance, and then just go to the chart. So you can see the chart here takes in an icon. So there's chat icon and chat link. So you can see the icon is exactly the same. Okay, so we can specify here. I can just go and do this and specify this one as an icon, just like this. So icon, and I specify anything I want. So you can just go ahead and just get a YouTube. So if you just do this and refresh, we should just have here this icon here. So you can just go ahead and just get like a YouTube logo. If I wanted, I could use YouTube logo. So you can just like go ahead and just get like this one. Okay. Now I don't know if the copy image address will work. So I can just also go ahead and copy the image address here. Alternatively, you don't need to use the image, you can use the SVG. So you can see here, this is huge. We can just go ahead and just say width to maybe 50. Refresh. Okay, I can just also still reduce it to maybe 35. Okay, so you can see now it is nice and it is linking to my YouTube. So you can see we have been able to customize the nav bar links, this one for this, and also for these two. Okay, the YouTube, this GitHub, you can just go ahead and put the GitHub repo for this project. Now, let's see how we can customize these links on top. So you can see on my documentation, I have these links, Next.js full stack course, templates, and the sub resources. So I can first of all open all these links here. Okay, so we have, for instance, Next.js course here. So how do I add it on top here? So if you just see this one, we have two types of pages. We have the pages that are going to go on the side here, on the side navigation, and we have also the pages that will go on top here. Okay, so all these ones can be customized in one file called meta.json. So you can close out the theme config. Now I go back to pages. Now in the pages, you can see we have all these pages. Since this is a pages router, it uses pages are placed inside the pages. And if you create a page and create like about or advanced.mdx or anything, it will automatically either show up here or show up here depending on the configuration. So first, if you want it to show up here, okay, you have to configure this in the meta.json. So there is this file you are going to find every time you are in a folder, starting from the pages, you see we have meta. Even in the advanced, I can go ahead and put the meta to configure the pages. So the purpose of this meta is to configure all these pages you see in that within that folder. So it configures the look for the folders and the pages that you have created within that folder. So meta.json, if you come inside here, you can see, for instance, about, which is actually currently showing on top here. If I just bring this one here, it is currently showing on top here, and the contact, you see one thing they have in common is that they have this type page. So if you name any page and you give it a type of page, it will automatically show up on top on the navigation. So to see this, I can just go ahead and add another one. For instance, I can just duplicate this and I say course, and I can just name this one Next.js uh, course. Okay, my Next.js course, I can just say my Next.js course, and I give it a page, you will see that automatically is going to show up here on top. Of course, you can just go ahead and give it any emoji you want. Okay, you can just go and just find emojis. Now here you just actually, you can't customize, like, I don't think you can pass in an icon. I'm not so sure. We can just go and say page configuration. So you can just go to the docs and let's say page configuration, and you can see you can configure them in the meta JSON. Read more about this here. Organizing files, behavior, they give you all this. What I want to see is if you can just like put an icon as if I don't know where you can, if it is even possible to put an icon, but what I found, what I normally do is I put emojis. They, if you want to put the icon there, okay, so I can just go here and I just put like a book. So you can just go here and type in emojis. Okay, there are so many places where you can get emojis. Okay, you can just go here and find the emoji one. You can see there are so many here. Okay, there are so many here. I don't know. For instance, this is, if I just say put like book. Okay, so you can see there is the closed open book, there is closed book and blue book. So I just go here and you can copy this, and then I just come here and I can just put it here, just like this. Okay, now you can pass in other two things. For instance, you can pass in the href and new window to open on a new page. So you're just going to put this. So if you pass in href, it will go to that. So if I just come here and I copy this, go ahead and pass it here. You can just like pass it in here, just like this. And new window means it's going to open in a new window. So if I just go back to this, you will see I have my next.js course. Refresh. Oh, do I have it twice? Okay, here. So if I click on this, it's going to open in a new page. Are you seeing that? Okay, great. So now you can be able to customize also the links on top here. You can add all the links you want. You can see here right now, we have this next.js, and then you have your contact. You can put, for instance, my portfolio. So instead of this, I can put portfolio. And then I just say my portfolio. The spelling is always hard for me for the word portfolio. Then it's a page, and then you can just go ahead and just put this. Let's just go ahead and I put, now which type of icon can I put there? First, let me get this link to my portfolio, for instance, the one we built. Then I can just come here and I can put this here on the href, window 2 page, and then you can leave this icon. Great, so nice. So if I can close this and I go back here, I can just click on my portfolio, just like this, and you can see it opens. Nice. Okay, so you can put anything you want, the icons and anything. Okay, so you have just like seen how you can customize the pages on top here. So the pages on top here, you simply only give them this object. The name you pass here doesn't matter. What matters is that if you give it a type page, it is going to show up on top. And if you give it href, it means that this is an external link. Now, if I also create another one like this, about, and this page, now you see this about, we have it here in this folder. I can just say this is about page here, about page, just like this. Now, if I go back to this method.json, this about, I've not given it this href. So if you don't give it href and this one, it will try to first find this name here, this about. If you have any file within this folder named about.mdx, if it is there, then it is going to render that. If I now go here, let's refresh and let's click on about, and you can see it takes you to the about page. Nice. Great. So now you know how to customize all these pages on top here, both the ones that we have here on the locally and the ones we have external linking on external. You can also change these ones to put your own links. I've shown you that one. Now next is now writing on these ones here. So as you can already see that in this folder, we have these links. I can just go ahead and remove all these ones. It's just is only index. Okay. Now this index is the one which is having introduction and everything. If I remove everything like this, you still see them here, right? So it means they're still in actually the meta.json because it don't tells the files, which files do you have. So if I remove them from here, okay, and I go back, refresh, okay, you can see we have introduction and this advanced. Now this advanced is actually this folder. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete it. This folder here. And I make sure I don't have anything here. So right now we have these pages. These ones are for the top. Now the remaining ones, we're just going to be actually putting them in this. The first thing to do is if you create a name of the folder and you don't specify it in here, I remove this. This name you have put here, they will just go in the pages and they look at this name index. If they don't find it in the meta.json file, they're just going to give it the exact name you gave here. So you can see we have now index. This is the only page we have on the sidebar, index. And since it is not inside the meta.json file, they're just going to give it its name, but capitalize it. So the first thing is every time you just name a file here, for instance, index.this one, you have to go ahead and give it a readable name in the meta.json. So you can just come here and I say I have a file called index. Okay, and I want to give it a name called introduction. Okay, just like this. And if I just do that, and you can see this now changes to introduction. Okay. Now, so on this introduction, if I want to create other things, you can see I left my introduction here, and then I have these ones, you see these folders. Now you can start like putting the folders. For instance, if we went to the next.js documentation, let me close these ones. If I went to like a next.js docs, okay, so you can see they have, for instance, get started, which inside has like installation and a product structure. So I would create a new folder called get started, and inside I put these two files, installation plus project structure. So if I just went ahead inside the pages and I create a new folder and I just name it get started, for instance, started, and inside I create two files, installation dot mdx, and you can just put hash. Now I'm just going to say, for instance, installation, and then I can give you this a paragraph. This is the installation page. This is the installation page. Okay, this is the installation page. I'm just going to go to the second one of the project structure, project. So you can just name it structure actually. A structure dot mdx. Okay, and I just put a hash, and the hash is the mdx, or how we write mdx. So here you can just say project structure, structure, and then here you can just put a hash, sorry, a paragraph. This is the project structure file. Okay, now after writing it just like this, now what happens if I go back to this? Now here you can see it has created actually the get started folder with a drop down, and it shows that inside there is two things, installation and the structure. If I click on installation, I should just take me to the page, and with the routing you can see the routing here, get started, which is a folder, and installation, which is the file, just like this. So meaning that we can also still customize everything, and more especially what you are customizing are the names, how they should look like, and all this. So to customize them, you know what to do. The first thing is this get started folder itself is located in the pages directory, and so its name can be customized inside the meta.json. Now take a note, we just like creating in the pages, get started, and then about and index. So inside these pages, we have right now three things: this index file, about file, get started folder, and the method.json. Method.json is for actually configuring the page configurations for these page, the files plus even the folders. So if I want to change the name of this folder, I still go to the method.json and I can just come here and I say you check for a file or a folder called get started and give it a name called get started. Get started, just like this. Okay, so this one will still also rename this to starting using this one. This is more readable. Okay, now for the same thing, I can customize these two. I can just go here, sorry. I can just go inside this get started. I also create meta.json. So inside here, I can create underscore meta.json, as simple as this. And inside here, you can create an object, and inside this object, you can see you can specify the namings. So inside here, I can just say I have a file called installation. Okay, and this one I want to give it a name called installation. Okay, I have another one called structure. So just say here structure, and I can just give it a name of project structure, just like this. Okay, save, and if you just go here, you can see now if I refresh. Okay, I think we just like messed up. Make sure that this is meta.json inside the get started meta and meta.json, and here we have installation structure. What is the problem? Installation. You have to just have like the right spellings. Installation and structured MDX. Let's go here. Installation and structure. I'm not so sure what would be the what is the problem. Internal server error. Can we just look at this error here? In the terminal. I know sometimes like my terminal is sometimes syntax unexpected end of JSON input. Okay. End of JSON input. Okay. Can I first copy everything here? So normally you can just copy everything in this and paste everything in this, and we can just edit this. I'm just going to say installation, and then you just name this to be installation. Okay, and then I can just come here. I say structure to be structure project structure, and then I just remove these ones. I don't know. This is exactly what I did, but for some reason you can just do this and it works. You never know. So just like do this and this installation. Oh, I think just going to a wrong page. Installation get started. Can I first go to this? Oh, actually, even this here is not there. What do they mean like the end of JSON input? Unexpected end of, okay, let me just first delete this. Can I save now? Are we okay? I just want to first go back to the before the problems. Problems can't always find their way into, I don't know, like all the time. Like projects find the errors and bugs find their way into the project. They cannot fail to be there. Why? Can I just do like a project and I end without getting any errors? Jesus. Okay, let's just like try troubleshoot this now. Can I just restart the server first? It may sound like even the problem was solved and it is just like this server. I knew it. That this might be the server just like trying to play us around. Okay, I just want to just do copy this method with JSON, paste it in this get started. So that's the concept. The each folder, if you want to customize the namings of each files, you need to put this file method.json. However much meat is here trying to actually play me tricks, I'll not accept. I'll just go here and put installation and I just give it installation. Installation. Okay, I can just go ahead and remove all these other ones. Let me first leave like one due to the fear. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and remove even the remaining ones. We all know that at the end of this JSON, you don't need this comma. Okay, this should just like simply work, right? Great. So now I can just say wherever you are seeing structure.mdx. So here, structure.mdx, name it as project structure. Project structure, just like this. Unless the word structure is a reserved keyword. Okay, great. So you can see we have get started and inside we have the installation plus the project structure. Great. So you can see now this is the way you can create the drop down. Okay, the way you see here, for instance, I have roadmaps. You can create the nested drop down, the way you say have like this one, then instead I have this one. You can create nested in the similar way. Okay, let's create one which has maybe um, let me just create one that has like nested. So you can just go ahead and create a second folder called courses. Okay, I can just go ahead and just create a folder called courses. So inside this, I can create courses. Okay, courses folder, courses, just like that. And inside the courses, we can create now two more folders. Okay, or I can just say, for instance, there is front end and back end. So I can just say creating another folder called front end, and then inside the front end, I put, for instance, the HTML CSS. Okay, so just go inside the front end, and I can just create here a fast file called front end, for instance, HTML course html.mdx, and let's put style css.mdx. Maybe it is also css course css.mdx, and then I can also just create this to be js.mdx. Okay, and then I can create inside the courses still another one called backend. Okay, called backend, And inside the backend, I can create, for instance, next.js. Okay, next.js.mdx, and maybe node.js. So here, like node.mdx. Okay, now inside these courses, I can also create one more file called, for instance, index.mdx. So you can just say maybe in the index, I'm explaining, for instance, saying that my courses, and I can say I have courses, in both front end, you can say front end and back end. Okay, and back end. Okay, and then you can just say maybe put here the links, and here the links. Okay, so you can just go ahead and put the links there. Okay, so now if we go to on this, you can see here that I have courses, and inside the courses, I have the index file, which is explaining about the courses. Then I have the backend, which has 2 courses, and the front end, which has 3 courses. Okay, now I want to customize the names. For instance, starting from the course. Okay, you have to go sorry here. Let's first close all these ones. For instance, this name here. Okay, this course's name, I want also to be capital, like the way you see get started. I want to start with capital letter. So what I can just do is I have to go to where this courses is located. You can see it is located in the pages. So I will go to the meta.json in the pages, and then down here, just the way I did for the get started, I will just do for the courses. So you can just say courses, and just going to just come here and I say, for instance, my courses. Okay, just like this. If I go back now, you can see I have my courses here. Now inside the courses, I want to customize this index, backend, and the front end. So you can just go ahead and just say, and inside the courses, we can just go ahead and create the meta.json. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this meta I have in get started. Go ahead and paste this inside the courses. Why did I paste this? I believe it is in this. Yeah. So you can just go inside this one, and then I can customize it. You can start with this index. So you just come here and I say index, name it to be, for instance, intro. Maybe course intro. When you say course intro. Okay, and then I just say for the backend, so you can just give here backend, and I just say my backend courses or backend courses, and then lastly you can just say front end, and you can just say here front end courses, front end courses, just like this. Okay, let's go back. Now you can see this is really looking nice. Wait a second. Yeah. So you can say I have my courses. I have course intro, which is this intro. Then inside here, the backend courses have next.js and node. So I can also still go inside here, these backend courses, and also customize this. So inside the backend, I can also go ahead and put the meta.json, right? So just copy this meta and let's go ahead and paste it in the backend. So inside the backend, I have meta.json to customize these 2 files. So I just come here and I say I have next next.js, this one, next.js.mdx, and I say this one I want to call it next.js course, next.js, maybe full stack course. Okay, full stack course. And then for the node.js, which is just node, so I just say node, just give it a name of node.js full stack course, or maybe backend course, backend. Can you say next.js with maybe TypeScript course? Just any title you want to give it, and there too, there is no this front end thing. So you can just go ahead and just remove this. Okay, so if I just go back now, you will see that now my backend courses, they have nice names. There's Next.js full stack course, Node.js with TypeScript course, and I can just go ahead and customize the same thing to these front end courses. So just go to the front end courses. Let's go ahead and just see here, front end courses, do the same thing and paste there the meta.json. And now inside these ones, we have to do these names, CSS, HTML, and JS. I start here, for instance, HTML, and I'm just going to say this is HTML course. HTML course, and then I say CSS, and this is going to be CSS course. Okay, and let's say JS, and this is going to be the JavaScript course, just like that. If I go back now, you see that the events, they have also nice names, and this is how you do the nice namings and using the meta.json. And if you just learn this technique, it is really easy. You make sure that every folder you have the meta.json where you can customize all the settings. So that one is done. Creating pages and creating them nested wise, it is really easy and really nice. I love this. Okay, moving on. What is also still important is that you can use normal components. Okay, for instance, here you can use the components created, the Next.js components. You can use them, or React components, you can use them in the MDX, and I think that's like a nice advantage. For instance, here we might just go ahead and create our hero section for this intro at our website. You can see when you go here and you click on this one, you will see this in nice intro to this. Okay, so you can create your own. This one is my own custom hero section that I put here on this introduction. So instead of using MDX, I can actually use a React component within this one. Okay, so I can just go to the components and let me create a new component. And if you see here, they have this, a TSX component they are using here. So you're also going to go ahead and create our TSX component like that. And I'm just going to go here, create a new file called hero.tsx. And I can just say RFC. And I'm just going to say, go ahead and just say here, H2 saying this is my hero. Okay, this is my hero section, just like this. And let me just go ahead and copy this and bring in into this one. Let me remove everything here. So I'm just going to go ahead and use this, try to use my hero, just like this. Now you have to import this. So I'm just going to say import hero from, and then you have the dot dot, and then you say components, and then like hero, just like this. Hoping this is going to work. So if I just go back here and I just go to intro, and you can see this is my hero section. So you might be tempted like, okay, I want to put my hero section. We can give it some styles for now. I just first leave it like this, but let me just go ahead and put rorem. I just put like rorem 300. Okay, so if you just go back now, you have this. The problem is that, yes, you want it to finish the whole entire thing here. Okay, you would want it to finish the way you see mine here. Finish this. And to customize this is on the layout. Okay, so by default, they have this layout which has this right, the right sidebar. Okay, they have this right sidebar and this left. So this is the normal default layout. So if you just go here and you search for, I think, something like layout, so there is layouts. Okay, so by default, they have this layout default in their theme config, which gives the default behavior we are seeing there. They have another one, which is raw. Okay, and they say you can use the raw layout to let Nextra not inject any styles to the content. So if you don't want any styles, you can use raw, which I don't want, but you might want to render some page with full container. So if you want a full container width and height, but keep all other styles, you can use this full. So we can just go ahead and specify this theme and we give it this layout of full. So to do that, we can just go back to the meta. So this index, we had given it just this introduction title. So instead of just giving it to now, if we want, we have more configurations we want to do on this page. Instead of just naming it like this, we adopt this version. So instead of just doing this, I can just cut this. And now you put an object, I pass in the title, sorry, I pass in the title, just like this, comma, and I can pass in, I think, theme, just like this, theme, and in the theme is an object which actually has the layout. So you can just say layout, and then we just say, for instance, full, just like this. And this is exactly the way they just say, you do it here, theme, and then you specify layout. If you do that, now you can see that this is actually finishing the whole entire width and height. Okay, so now we can just go ahead. Now what is only remaining is the styling. So by default, they want you to use the modules. As you can see in this default component they gave, they are using this counter and they are specifying the styles from this, and they're using the counter style from here, this one, they're using it in this one. You might just do the same thing, or you might want to use tailwind. Okay, you might want to use tailwind. And now tailwind is one of the advanced configurations. It is in the advanced configuration. If you go back here and you go ahead, we could search tailwind, actually, just like this, tailwind CSS, and they tell you exactly how to do this. And you can see it is in the guide, advanced tailwind CSS. So this is under advanced. To use tailwind, by default they don't give you to use it, but you can actually make it to be used. So what you're just going to do is they tell you, if you want to use tailwind, you need to follow the, or if you set up tailwind in next.js project, I can right click this to go to the documentation. And also down here, they give you some tips that you need to do. First of all, let's go ahead and do this. The first step is to install the Tailwind CSS and the post CSS like this. So I'm just going to go ahead and use pnpm. So I'm just going to do this, copy, and let's go here, stop the server. where is my server? So just go here. Let's stop the server and let's say paste this. Okay, you can just go here and change this to p npm, just like this. Install. This is going to go ahead and just install all the necessary dependencies, and then we'll run and then run the init command to generate the config plus the post config. So I'm just going to go ahead and also run this one, the npx command, and just going to write this. Okay, when you run it, it's going to create two files, the post. Okay, so you can see it has created the post css and also the tailwind config. And right now the tailwind config is having this empty content. So we just need to tell you that you need to compile something like this. And this configuration, they also provided it here. So if you just want, you can just simply copy this one. And then you can just come and paste it here inside while we have the content. So here I'm just going to do this. And you can see it has the pages and it also has the components. And you make sure in these components it has TS, TSX, and everything. And finally, if you continue with the installation, they will tell you add the tailwind directive to your CSS. And they tell you global.css. If I copy this, now there is nowhere to paste it. You cannot put in the counter mode.css. This one, you cannot add it here. We have to create its own directory here. Just going to create a new folder, put styles, and inside the styles, let's go ahead and put global.css, global.css, and then paste these three things like this. And after you have added the styles here, we have now to make them work in the whole entire app. Okay, so to make them work in the entire app is you have to do one more search. Okay, if you go back here and now you just say for instance css, I don't know if just like is it global? No, if we just select css just like this, tailwind custom. So is this custom css support? Just click on this. So they say Nextra is 100% compatible with built-in css of next.js. And for example, they give you this why you can create style.css. But one thing that is important is that they say here you can create pages app.js file and import your CSS files there. So this means that if you want, you need to go in the pages and create this app.js file where you can actually add this. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and try to create that. So I'll just go in the pages, okay, which is here, and I'm just going to create a file called app. First of all, it's underscore, so it starts with underscore app.js, and let's paste in this. Okay, now we need to import our CSS where it is located. I'm just going to do this dot styles, and then inside the styles we have global.css. So that's what they're recommending, just like this. Okay, next, now after we have done that, we can start using the npm. So you can just come here and put some styles. So see, I'm just going to go in the components and let's use in this hero.tsx. Let's go and use, for instance, class here. First of all, I will give them text green of 500. Now let's go ahead and start the server, pnpm dev. I'm just going to go here and I say pnpm dev. Let's see if we have any errors. I'll go back and let's refresh. And lost the time. Okay, it is already 1 hour. Okay, so you can see here we have this. So you can just go ahead and just put a padding, for instance, here. Padding, and let's give it a padding of 8. Yeah, so you can see this is just like working really nicely. Of course, you might just need to go create an I0. I'm not going to recreate this one, but you can just go ahead and recreate an I0. So to get the hero section, a nice hero section, I might just go to which place can I get nice hero sections that are for free? Let's say I go to, okay, how about going to the Tailwind UI or Tail Grid? Tail Grid. Can we get like any free component here on this? Um, if you just go, for instance, on the hero sections, I'm not so sure if you can get a free one. There is hero sections here. Just want to get one that I can use. Doesn't need to be nice or anything. Okay, so they give you this first one. I might not just need the navigation. I might just need only this one. So just go here, get the one for React, and then just go ahead and just look at the code. This is the Now the problem these ones, but we don't actually need. I think some other things like the header part. Okay, we don't need the header part, so I just go. Don't need the all these entire things. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this, and I'm just going to put everything in here. Okay. So what I just do is first of all go here, remove export default. This one we named it hero. That is one thing. And I'm just going to go ahead and just remove all this header, just like this. And this one makes that we don't need this, and we also don't need the navigation, including all these links. Okay. And even this one, we don't need it. We're not using any use state or anything. Okay, so this should just like simply work. I believe so. Let me hope we don't get errors. Okay, so you can see right now we have a very nice hero section. Look at this. This is really nice. And you can just go ahead and just like reduce on this, padding 14. Let's just go ahead and just say there is this one. SM top 80. So I can just like make this top 40 actually, and this one just make it 8 also. Let's see if this reduces. Can I just continue reducing this? Absolute top 40. Let's just say 20 and I see what happens. There is this padding of 56. I'm just going to leave it with 32. Okay. Much better. You can just also go ahead and see, still make this one of 16. Okay. Yeah, so this looks really nice now. Okay. So you can see that we can use Tailwind and this. Okay. You can just like change this to announcing my new my new, okay, my new blazing docs, just like this. And you can just go ahead and, for instance, for this one, you can just say welcome to our new docs. Okay, welcome to our new docs. And then here you can just like get anything you want to do with your docs. I don't know what you want to do with your docs. Okay, and then you can just like have this really nice. So you can see you can customize this, and then you use it in your MDX. And this is not only limited to this one, to any other files you have here. You can actually use the um, custom elements. And this is where they actually, even if you have logic, you see this counter element that we have here. What is the counter? You have like this counter component, which is like my button. Then you just put here in my app. So you could just like go ahead and just like bring this my button. Maybe here you can say counter. Okay, you can just go ahead and just bring this counter to any of these. Okay, you can just go here, not in this one. Let's just go to also not index, like in the about. Let's just go ahead and put this counter. Sorry, just like this. Okay, and you just have to make sure that you import it on top. So you can say import, and you can just say counter from dot slash component slash counter counters, I guess. So if I just go to the about, we should be able to see this counter here working very well. So you can just have like really logic within your MDX, which is really nice. Okay, you can have the logic using your MDX and still works. Okay, great. So now, speaking of the custom components, so you can create all your custom components within these components and then import them in your MDX the way you want. You see, you can style them with Tailwind. Everything will work. Now, let's go ahead and see how you can use they have also the built-in components. And that's what actually makes this what makes this Nextra, I think, powerful. They have really nice built-in components. So if you just go here on the guide, okay, you will see down here where they have built-ins. Okay, by the way, all these were just speaking, I have put them in this documentation I created, this one. All these things I'm talking about, they're just in this. You'll find the reference. Okay, so let's go to the built-ins here. So you have already like things which are built in here. For instance, you have the callout, tabs, cards, and steps file tree. So just look at how you'll be using some of these components. And for instance, when you want to give a step by step, you can use tabs or you use the steps. So going back, for instance, to ours, when you just say, for instance, installation, you might just like need to write the installation procedure. Okay, let's just say this is getting started and you want to say you need to install these ones. Okay, so just say replicate this. If you wanted to install like Tailwind and blah blah, so you would just come and create this one, install Tailwind. So if I just go back to courses, so it is just in getting started. Under installation, you could just come first of all and make this heading H1 like this. Now the H1s are not searchable. They are the big headings. Sorry, these are the big headings you see here. But wherever you make H2, it will just going to appear here on this right sidebar. So the H2s are searchable and they are easily found on this right of the menu. So what you can do, let me bring this docs. Where is it? This one nearby here, so that we can just say customize it together. So for instance, you have this text setting up in this, so you will just be the text you're going to specify here, just like this. Just just like this. What am I doing? Like, I just need to paste in this setting up. I don't know where I'm getting all these texts. Yeah, okay. So now you can see here, step number 1, create your project with this, and then you have to run this terminal command, right? So what you do is, like, you see these are steps, and then they have involves these commands. So we have the steps built-in components. So you can just go here, click on steps, and you can see this one gives you these nice steps. Okay, so to use them, you simply copy this like this. And now you can just go ahead and just copy and just paste them here like this. I normally just want to add this and I put it at the beginning here on top, just like that. Okay, leave some space between this import and this one. And let's just first go back and we'll see if this shows up. Now there is this error that you get. I think this is just like from the latest this. I have just gotten this error, I think, in the previous, but when I was developing my mine, I think the documentation wasn't of this the version. So Nextra updated the version, but I what I was wondering is they didn't update this in anywhere. You can see they're still importing this from Nextra components. Okay, they're importing this from Nextra components, and this is so much disturbing. I after getting this error. So sort of this error, there are ways to troubleshoot. The first one, you could actually just like try to right click and search this on Google. If this someone found this error, you can just open some of these links just like this, right? You could just go ahead and look at this React Native. No, just find the ones where we have these ones. So when I got this, this is for expo. When I got this problem, what I did is that there is, if you just go and search this on cloud, so just wait to cloud, and if I just go to one of the things here that I was searching, okay, so the first thing it tells you is to import, okay, is imported from Nextra. So you see, we're importing them from Nextra components by saying, if you're using an older version of Nextra, you might need to use this. And it is importing like from theme docs. And it's also saying you can also install these theme docs. Okay, so I'm just going to try to see if this works. Actually, I didn't have any success story, but for now, I really believe we can have a successful story. First of all, I'm just going to make sure that next config, this one, is connected very well to this one. Okay, so I'm just going to open my terminal, stop the server, and let's go ahead and just try to install this with pnpm, just like this, and see if we can just get any success story. So now, instead of using Nextra components, I'm just going to try to use from Nextra theme docs. Like really, I'd never gotten this when I was using my docs. All these are built-in components. I import them from the Nextra components, but due to this problem, let's try if we can just get it from somewhere else. So clear. Now let's go back to our page. It was under not installation. It was which page? Yeah, I think it was this one. So instead of getting it from here, let's try to get it from, okay. Just going to try to get from Nextra theme docs, and just go ahead and just start this. If we see if we can have any success stories, I'm just going to bring also cloud nearby here to help us troubleshoot. Okay. Okay, let me just go ahead and just do this. It seems like we are still having the same exact problem. Get started installation is giving us the same problem. Okay, so we still have the same problem. Element type is invalid. You can just give this, give it maybe to cloud. I get this error with my Nextra project. I give it this. I can just give it more things, and I just say this is the file. So you can just give it some more context. So here is my installation the mdx. You just press the code, and down here I can say, and here is my package.json. Okay, package.json. Okay, and you see here, and also I'm using pnpm. Okay, so just give it like this. See if it can just try to give us something we can do. Thank you for providing this in this one. So first, make sure you're using the correct import statements for the steps component of Nextra theme docs. Try changing your import statement to this. So you can see right now, so it's saying that if you change this one, so it's trying to say changing it to this. If that doesn't work, you can import an extra theme docs components. Okay, so it's giving us like the the this one we are very sure this one is not going to work. Is the one we used previously and it didn't work. Okay, but nevertheless, I'm just going to try do this. Nextra components. This one we are very sure it is not going to work. Let's just wait. Okay, so that one fails. It's saying if that doesn't work, you can try importing from Nextra theme docs components. So let's try to get it from this. Okay, so let's replace this. Just like this. Okay, and this still gives us now more complicated problems. Packet discom is not exported from this blah blah steps from theme docs components. Okay, so this also doesn't work. Ensure that your next config file is correctly with for this should look like this. That one we have it correct. Make sure this and then this. Since you're using PNPM, try clearing your dependencies and reinstalling them. Update your dependencies to the latest version. If none of the above works, try modifying the steps component usage to use more verbose syntax. Okay. We can just like use a more verbose syntax. Let's just do the more verbose syntax then. Let's see. And then this we can just say like now, can we just now get from Nextra components? I don't know whatever just made they made these changes they made in their um the changes they made in their documentation. They didn't just like um try to do this. So let me just try to actually see if we can just get this running. Okay, so we have export start, make it for good. Okay. Mm, okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and first pause the video and then like try to figure out the problem and then I'll be back. Hello. So after debugging for about 1 hour, actually it took me like about 30 minutes or about 45 minutes while debugging, but you can see I have here the steps, for instance. Now, after searching, you can see here an extra, this is on Reddit. You can see an extra thing built-in issues. And this person was also having problems with this, and you can see here it was importing steps from extra components exactly the way it is in the docs, and is getting exactly the same error, the element invalid, and this one. So someone here went and says he was getting this Now here there is, well, we have run into the same issue. So here you can see this one gave at least some hints, and it says for the nested children with tabs, there is an individual tab component is being exported by the library. It is now being used. This. So after seeing this, okay, he actually put this screenshot here. You can see here you might want to import from Nextra theme docs. So bleed and call out bulletin work for Nextra, but tabs step file tree keeps returning errors. So you see that these are the some problems with the built-ins, but after going inside, when you have installed the Nextra docs, so when I went to the node modules and you went to, there is this Nextra, okay, and then there is Nextra theme docs. So if you just go to the Nextra list, you see there is what there is components. And if you see these components, you're not seeing any component that we are getting like tabs or what from the Nextra tabs. You can see they are not actually there. So in the Nextra, these built-ins are no longer coming from Nextra components. As you can see here in the node modules, Nextra is not having any of those components. Okay, so now if you just go back and you just go to node modules, now Nextra theme docs, and you go into dist and you go to index.js. So now if you scroll, actually I first looked for them and you couldn't manage to get them up here. Okay. And then I just scroll at the end. So when you scroll up to the end, you actually come to this export. You can see here we have these components. For instance, this callout, collapse, nav bar, not found page, server, and so many others. And you can see now they have tab plus tabs. You know, the other time they had the tab was on the tabs, but right now they're exporting it as a different component. And you can see in these that have been exported here, we don't have the steps. Okay, so the steps, they for now it is very hard to know where they are located right now, where to import them from, because they are neither in the Nextra nor in the Nextra theme docs. So for the if you want to use the steps, you might need to create them by yourself. Okay, you might just need to create that as a custom component and use it. But after discovering this one, I try to actually now use, so if you just go to inside the installation, you can see I imported tabs and tab from Nextra theme docs, and this one is working perfectly. You can see now they have it like this. You pass in the items in the tabs as usual, and then you have this tab, the content for tab 1 and tab 2. Okay, so they have it now like this. Okay, yeah, that's what I found out, and this is really not good news, because now this Nextra is being maintained now, since it is open source. It's being maintained by so many people now. It is really a bit confusing. And after also digging so much, I found out also another blog by the guild, and you don't know what the guild is all about. You can just say this something like this. I'm not sure what this guild is all about, but I found this also this, and there was one blog, the guide, that was written by Dmitry Postorov, and this is Tuesday, December 2023. This is sometime back in 2023 last year. And he's saying here announcing, that is why he actually brought saying is announcing Nextra 3 is currently available. I don't know like how far this is, but you can see he brought it. I think that's why he brought in the PNPM. You can see here Nextra Alpha installs the this. And if you read in this blog, that's where a lot of things were actually changed. Okay, there are a lot of things that were actually changed. The problem is also when you just go to the package.json, here on Nextra, you see that we have, for instance, Nextra theme docs, and this is Nextra actually too. Okay, so you can see we have Nextra 2, and so this docs is for the upcoming, the one that is going to come, or the one that is in beta. That's why you can see here is saying this was in beta. Okay, but so long as you're still using Extra 2, then these ones will be applied. Okay, so these ones are for Nextra 2 and even extra sim blocks of 2. So for now, this steps component, I don't know where you can import from, but for now I'm just going to be using tabs for this. I wanted to show you this, that you might need to look at the components being exported, and this can be helping you in troubleshooting. It took me long to discover that, but this finally works. Okay, so irrespective of all that, you can now just go ahead and put this. I wanted to show you how you can at least embed a code snippet. So for instance, create your project. So in the step 1, we could just come here and say create your project, and we can, sorry, and we can just go ahead and just add, so you can just like add this. And then inside here, I'm just going to go ahead and put something like this. Okay. And now we can just go ahead and put this snippet. So you can just copy this. And now we can just like put this. Okay. And you can put bash. And you can put copy. And then you can just go ahead and put this like so. npx, this one like this. Then there is cd. So when you're creating these here, make sure that they are almost on the, just bring them here like this. Make sure that these ones, they are just lighting like this. Okay, so save. If we go back here, you can see that we have this npx. We can remove also this space and this, save. Now you can see here we have npx, create this, and you have this copy already there. Okay, yeah, so we can just use this. The This is how you specify this, and you can pass in the file name by saying file name is equal to, so you could just say underscore terminal, just like this, I guess. Yeah, so you can see you can put the name of the file, and you can just say specify that this is terminal. And then you can do the same thing on step number 2, and like that. Yeah, so this is how you put code snippets. Okay, you can just go ahead and put a, just going to go ahead and close some of these things here. Okay, So you can just put step 1, and then you can put step 2. Since we are not using the we are not using the steps, we can just simply use the tabs, and you see the tabs are working properly. So number 2, I can just say install Tailwind CSS. So you can just go here, first add this, install Tailwind CSS, and then you can just come here, and then you can just put this, and then add this. Now if you want, you can just add inline code by just putting only this. This is how you can just add the inline code for the multiline, like this terminal here. You just do exactly this. So you can just come here and you just do this, and you say bash, and you can just say copy to put the copy button, and then inside this you can paste this like so. If you want to specify the name of the file, you just put the word file name, and then you put the name of the file terminal, just like that. If you go back now like this, you see step 2, we also have it here, and you can see how these ones are highlighted. Okay, yeah, so this is how you do that. Let me see what it is. So if you just know how to put the tabs, and you also know how to put these code snippets, I can put step number 3. So let's just go ahead, and so you can just duplicate this, just like that. And now we can put the step, which is configure your template path, just like this, just like this, just like this. I can just go ahead and just put this, and then down here I can put this here. So you can copy this. Now if it is JS, you can just put like JS, and then inside here you can put the code, and then here you can also put the file name, which is tailwind config.config.js, tailwind.config.js, something like this. If we go back, so you can just put the third step. So here let's add step number 3, just with comma, and let's say step 3. Okay, so just click on this one. Now you can see this. Okay, so you can see that we have the installation done. You can put code snippets. We have seen how you can use Tailwind. So yeah, we have seen how you can create your own custom the components, and you can see here now these are they are populated now. You can see install with CSS. All these ones here, they are being actually used on this. Okay, yeah, so I think with that, I don't know what we have not covered. You can also include images. Let's just look at others. In this, you have other built-in You have other built-ins that we can use after you have seen this. The one I showed you here in the node modules, these ones in this. So you can see now we can use a call out. We have the tabs. I'm also not seeing the file tree from here, but I can see there is this call out. Okay, so you can just like maintain using those ones. I wish the configuration file for my I could give you the configuration file for my documentation. That would be nice. Let's first see in projects this one. So I'll just like want to see like the settings for the package.json. So this is the original version that started with. Now you could just see that here, for instance, Nextra is having latest and Nextra Sim Docs is also having latest. So now I cannot know I cannot know the this. I don't know if I put these dependencies, if this can work. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to duplicate and I try to put these dependencies the way they are here, 3 of them, just like this. Okay. I'm just going to copy these dependencies and I see if these are going to work. So let me just go to this package.json that we have here. You can see this one has, so I'm just going to duplicate this, Control C, Control V. You can just go ahead and copy, Control C, Control V. And you can first stop this. Okay, so we have this here. So we have this package. I just want to go ahead and try to put whatever I have on this. I don't know where it is. Where is it? Just close this package.json. So I want to open this one. This is for my the one I'm using. So let's just see. Next trend this, it is saying latest. If you put these two here like this, latest, and let's do pnpm pnpm install. Just first see if this like takes the things to the old version or the new version. Really, I don't know. If you put these to latest, just like that, hoping all others remain constant, just wait and see. So you can see here it took off 2.214 this, and I think just like almost the same. Okay, let's just see if this changes anything. pnpm save. I just want to see if I get an error. Who is this? Just see if we get an error. Okay, so there is no different. I think that's just the latest. You can see that it does this. Okay, oh, it seems like we have some problems. And we just first go to the intro and then installation. Okay, I think we are good. Okay, yeah, we are good. So they are the same. These are, I think, the latest, because you can see here we are using Nextra latest and this latest, and this is how you're supposed to use them. I will leave this project in the link in the description, so that the link to the code, so that you can use it. Okay. So other things that are important after seeing how to use the code, you can put the images using the MDX way of putting things. Images can be put also to the public folder here. You might not be having the public folder, but if you want to put like images, if you want to put like images, so if I just say this and I say public, so you can just put your images in this public folder. Let's put one image. Let's put one image, and maybe for this, let's look in the downloads, get one image. Let me just put this one, copy to this fabric. This add it here. I'm just going to rename this to thumbnail, maybe thumbnail. Okay, so if I just go back here, and you can just go back here into this, where is the documentation? I can just come here and I put Nextra. So down here there is image. So you can add the image using the markdown syntax like this. So if you want, you could add, so below this, let's add this. So you can just add here the image to the public folder. So if I think you can just say slash thumbnail. I don't know if you're supposed to really put, if I put thumbnail dot png, just like this. I'm not sure if this can show up. Okay, you can see it is here. So just put like the path, entire path. Okay. I'm not seeing this public folder. See pages. I'm not seeing the public folder for some reason. Public. Let's see if now we can see it. So it is saying here that image uh, we have already fixed this. I don't know why it is still showing the error here. Yeah, so you can see now we have the image showing properly inside here. Yeah, so you can just like show videos, images, sorry. You can also use the next image. If you just go here, you can see that you can import the image and then you can add this. Uh, if you wanted, you could import this. And now let's go ahead and just try to use the next image. Okay, let's just see here. So if I put this very path and I put it here, let's just go and see if this shows up still. Okay, so this, if you are a relative image, it must start from slash. So for the next image, I think for it you can just do slash, just like this. Let's see. Yeah, so you can see we have two images. There is this one and we have this one. So they are all using this. So if you just use the alt, you must put this whole entire path. If you're using the image, just put this here like this. Okay, great. That's nice. Um, I'm just going to also put a video. So if you still go in the docs here, there is a link. That one we have already seen. You can also use the next link. I just want to try a video. Okay, I just want to try a video just like this. And let's go ahead and put a YouTube video of mine. Like let's say one of these ones.
So what is ClickUp?
So to get an iframe, you can just go here and say share, embed. So let's get this HTTP like this. Okay, so let's just go ahead and see if this is going to be embedded. Yeah, so you can see this is also embedded very nicely. So with it, I cannot, if we can give it like 100%, can we do that? Yeah. So you can also give it with 100% and then hide that. I don't know if we can just give it like style and margin top. We can just say margin top of like maybe 100 pixels. Yeah. So even this the styles work as you have seen. Let's give it maybe 60. Okay. And for this, I don't know if you need to give if I put auto, like what happens? Okay, let's just go ahead and give like 450. Okay, so you can see now that we have images, we have code snippets, you know, we have videos, embeds. You can also go ahead and put, for instance, the downloads link like this. You can use Markdown. We have seen that already. Yeah. For the built-ins, you have seen the where the problems are. I've talked about them. So for the built-ins, be very much careful while putting them. You can see if you just came and wanted to add this file tree, it will not accept. Previously, this would work very fine. Okay, this would really work very fine like this, but now you can see that this already is giving us you can just like refresh. So you can just say expected the crossing tag for the file tree. I don't know why is even the file tree for some reason doesn't want to. Okay, yeah, and the file tree actually is working. Should I say like all of them right now they are working? Because the file tree right now is working properly. Okay, let me just go ahead and put all of them now. Now that the file tree is working, I'm still fearing the steps. Anyways, let me just try just steps, because now this is getting from Nextra. Let me just go here and add this. Can you just like save right now? And let's see. Yep. Oh, okay. This doesn't look nice. Step one. Okay, just do this. Step two, step three. So you can just say this is the content here. This is some content for step one. This this is some content for step two, and this is some content for step three. Save. Let's see. Wait. Step one. Okay, this step two. So you can just have like this. Step three, just add space. Add space. And step three. Okay, so let's just go and see now. Stories, the steps. Yeah, and the steps are working finally. Nice. And the let's add the last one. We have tabs and callout. So now let's just use the old tabs. Okay, let's just add the old tabs and see. Just going to go ahead and just add these old tabs. Okay, now I'm just going to actually, oh, actually the this already in this, it was already using the tabs and tab. Okay, so meaning that I just simply want to import this from the components. So instead of getting it from this, can I get it from this? Let me scroll down just to remove this. Okay, so now the tabs are also working properly. And okay, the final ones are the cards. So just go and get the cards. Okay, I'm just getting the cards. Remove this. Just save. And yep, so the cards are also working properly, guys. So this is really good. So at the end of the day, we have some good news. I love this. So you can put the file tree, you can put all these. Then there is this blade. Okay, even the blade, I guess, is working. Okay. Finally, we can just like put this mermaid. So mermaid is the one we use to draw complex diagrams. You can just use a mermaid to draw diagrams. So for instance, we can just copy this one and we can just put like a, for instance, here, mermaid diagram. And you can just go ahead and just say mermaid. So just put here mermaid, copy, and then you can just go ahead and put this here. So if you go back, this should just like show us a diagram. So you can see here, you will have like diagrams. You can render diagrams, and when you just learn how to do this, you can see you start with graph TD and then subgraph. Then you have under the subgraph, you have ABC and then end. Then you start another subgraph. So you learn how to draw this. You can see like the sub, and then these are ABC. So if you learn how to draw this, it is very easy. We're going to use a mermaid. And there is also mermaid live, like if you just something like mermaid live or something, mermaid live. Okay, you can just like draw the diagram from here. Okay, you can draw the diagram, you can just be drawing from here, and then from there you can take your code to here to render it in your stuff. If you want to show the diagram just like this one, you just go to this mermaid live, edit it, or you can use ChatGPT to draw it, and afterwards you can just go and show it in this looking very high resolution and nice. So you also have it here. I think that's the most of it I wanted to show you. I've shown you how to create pages. Now I've also shown you how to use all the built-in components and then the markdown. There are some other markdown tricks. For instance, bolding the text. Use star star to bold the text, and then you use these dashes. Okay, then there is block code, inline code, and then the normal code. Okay, I think just the one thing I like about it is just the code blocks. The code blocks are always looking really nice. Okay, the code blocks are always looking super nice, which is really good. So at the end of the day, I'm just going to leave a link to this one so that you use it in your own project. I think the problem was on the, let me delete this. You can see there the packages. We had this package, an extra, and this one. So after updating and test, this one worked very well. Okay, so you can just see right now we have all these ones referring to Nextra latest and this one also latest. So you are good to go. Okay. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I guess you have known how to build this or how to customize this to your liking. Thank you so much. We have gone through troubleshooting, but I'm so grateful that at the end of the day we made this. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next video.